Today's video is a beginner's guide for city skylines. So the first thing you need to do is you need to pick your map. So each map is a little bit different, and if you notice down at the bottom here, each map has different resources and different connecting areas. So you want to find one that's got a nice little blend of everything, and we'll go with this one right now. First thing you want to do is you want to kind of get a feel for where you got to build. The game will provide you with a lot of hints and stuff. We got like a little river over there. So we got our starting roads right here. And what you want to do is you'll have to just start building some roads. I opened up that tab up there. It'll show different filters once it's unlocked. First thing we got to do though is just put down a road, and you want to really try to plan out what you're gonna do beforehand. I kind of like having perpendicular lines, do squares. It works best since the zoning is based on a grid, so I don't like to have a lot of curves in my city. So we'll just build a road onto the edge of each side, and that'll make an intersection. This actually isn't the best thing to do, but considering that we don't have a lot unlocked right now, it's what we'll have to do for now. Later on we can come back to this area and mess with it. Right now what we're gonna have to do is place water, get water pumping, and as you can see the arrows pointing on the water. When you go to the water filter, it shows the direction the water is moving at, the current of the water. So when you're building a pumping station, you always want to build as far upstream as possible, and then when you place your sewage drain, you want it as far down as possible, because the water is going to carry pollution from your sewage downstream, and it can cause your villagers to get sick. It can cause your citizens to get sick. So now we need some pipe run underneath the city, and I normally am pretty messy about this, so I'm going to try to be a little more efficient. You need it run from the pump to the drainage spout, and it'll need to be under every tile that you have zoned. So we'll go ahead and extend our road out here and start building our city. Now that we got bigger roads unlocked, I like this main road to be a little bit bigger. It'll help with traffic, because this is going to be where everybody's coming and leaving the city. So I want it to be wider, less congestion later on. Take care of it while we have the money. Oh, one thing to add to, you notice the little circles on the bottom left there. That's how you change the way you place road. You got straight road, curve road, freeform, and the blue exclamation point is upgrade. It allows you to upgrade the road, which is what I did for that main road there by making it a double road. So as you can see, I'm trying to place just to where we're not overlapping anything, so that maximizes the efficiency of our road and our zoning areas. And the first thing you're going to have a high demand for is the residential. If you see down on the bottom, there are 3 bars, the green, orange, and a blue. Green is your residential, blue is your commercial, and orange is your industrial. And all you really have to do to keep people happy, more or less, especially in the beginning of the game, is to just build new zones based on demand. So as you can see right now, we just have a huge demand for residential. The bar's all the way up. People just want to move in and live here. So that's why we've already zoned off some residential. But now we need some power. And I typically go with the wind power, but it doesn't provide that much. And I'm going to go ahead and build a coal power plant. But industry and power plants both provide pollution, and they're noisy, so that's noise pollution as well. So I want to put it as far away from where we're putting our residential area as possible. So there you go. You see that orange blue area around it will provide us with electricity in that area. And we can see with the windmill best areas, the darker areas provide more electricity. We don't need any for a while though. So we'll just connect our power plant over to our water pump. That way our water pump has power because they can't work without power. Same thing with the sewage. So now we got that taken care of. And as the city spreads out, we won't have to have the lines as much. You can start removing the lines because it'll naturally spread the grid out. So we'll put some more water over here, spread our water pumping area out. Sometimes I like to connect them, but I'm just going to leave it open because we don't want to waste any money on pipes we don't need right now. So in the beginning, all you really have to focus on is the zoning. Later on, you'll be able to build other buildings. I didn't want to delete a building that we already have built, which is what would happen if you build road over top of a building. So I'll just extend it out here and just make it a little farther out. And now we have to extend the water a little bit too. As you can see, that's over there. This is our budget tab. Whenever you have, if you don't have enough power or water, you can increase your budget, which will raise the amount you produce. So that'll help a lot. If you don't have the money for building a whole new facility, you can just increase your budget a little bit. So we don't have any demand yet, but I want to go ahead and get it planned out. What I always like to do, and this is the best advice I can give in the game, is to separate your industrial area from your residential area by placing commercial area in between them. And that's because commercial areas don't produce any pollution, and they act as a nice buffer from all the pollution that the industrial areas can provide. However, they do provide some noise pollution, especially in the higher densities. So they're not going to be too happy with the commercial area, but it's a lot better than having industrial area right up on your residential. And we need to connect our power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here, and then I'm going to spread it over the road there, at least until our grid starts spreading out. And there we go, now we're connected. And once the zones in between the lines there start building up, as you can already see that commercial building being built, it spreads the grid out, and we already can delete that one. And as it spreads more out, we can delete those and have more buildings in their place. Skip forward a little bit, and alright, now our grid's covered the area, and we can take care of these power lines. And that'll just free up the area for building more commercial area in that, or industrial in that zone. See, now that you can see, we can place building there, and that'll give us more revenue. Okay, so what I'll do now is I want to extend my industrial park out a little bit. We'll bring it out, and that'll give us room for future projects that we'll soon unlock, and it'll also allow us to delete some of our wiring that is run from the pump. We gotta make sure we follow it up with the water, otherwise the new industrial area won't be able to have water access. We made the road a little smaller. Smaller roads are easier to manage. See, if I can build right through it and it'll auto delete it. I don't think it refunds you any of your money. Now see, that would give us an overlap right there, and I don't like overlap, so that's a little more efficient, and that'll give us more space for industrial park. I want to focus on this side here, that way it'll build faster. I will leave that other spot blank for right now because it won't help us connect the power grid to the wiring to the pump. Alright, now to let the power grid spread out through our new industrial area. See, it's already starting to progress over there. And they'll start building the buildings. And once the you'll notice on the power lines, once it's connected to power lines, that little plug icon above the power lines will go away. So now we need to place our landfill for our trash pickup, and you always want to place it kind of far away from your residential area. I like putting it near my industrial area because it provides a lot of pollution similar to the industrial area. And we also need some education. We want it close to our residential areas, but you also want it to have easy access. We'll put a clinic and a school in this corner here. That way it's easy access for everybody in the residential areas. And the doctor's office, you can still reach it from the commercial or industrial. And we'll expand our residential area just a little bit, and we'll put some commercial next to it to give it a buffer. So now what we'll go over is pollution, and you can see we're providing a lot of pollution from our industrial area and then our garbage area over there next to it. And this is the traffic tab and the noise pollution tab. These are all things that heavily affect your residential areas, and there are different things you can do just with city planning to prevent them. As you can see, this is a more complicated matter about the trade. So some of our industry is bringing in resources, which draws in tourists. And we got a school here that provides us with education, and then our trash pickup, and then, of course, our medical clinic. You want your medical facilities close to your residential areas. You want your schools close to your residential areas. But you want to make sure that your trash pickup is probably near your industrial area because it will provide a lot of pollution. So you don't want it anywhere near you. Okay, that was my beginner guide for City Skylines. I hope it helped you all get a good start to your city. Remember to like and subscribe.